Hello, and welcome to this episode of Coding in Roblox Studio. Today I have a not really tutorial, just a showcase of a script I have just made. And this script is about data, data storing, data creating using OOP. And I believe this way you can make data, use it, and access it way easier than any other script could. And I believe this is the best script you can make for data using OOP. So let's get right into it and see what we have. So, first of all, as you can see here, we have a data model and we have a data handling script. The script is just some commands I run to just showcase stuff, but let's actually first see what is inside of data handling. Okay, so as you can see, the first line of code gets the model script and gets the contents of the model script. Then later we go here and we say when the player enters, we make a new object from the class data, and we just pass down the player user ID. And when the player leaves, as you can see, we do data, which is this dot data objects, which is a table containing all the current in-game objects of a player. We find the key and we do save. Okay. Also, I just realized something. So let me go here and say, let me pass down a variable is delivering. In this case, yes, it is true. So true. And in this case, false. He's not leaving. So I'm just doing this. So basically, when we save the data and do this, we do if he's leaving, then oh, data objects. Actually, no. Table remove data objects. If I pass down the key, what's gonna happen then? Player dot what am I doing? Dot user ID. Okay. Oh my god, okay, I'm mistyping. Let's do this and then let's do print here just to see what am I doing? Print data object and let's see what this does. Data made for okay. Got the table with oh my bad. How can we can I just do something like what if I do this? Is it gonna error now? Why am I blinking? That's actually kind of weird, not gonna lie. Table. Okay, wait a second. I wanna see if there's a way of concatenate the table into a string column. Okay, so there is a way of doing this. Okay, ignore this code. There is a way of doing this, but it's kind of takes too long and it's unnecessary. So I'm just gonna do something like something like this. This should just work completely fine. If it's the only thing in the thing it just prints normally. Yep, there it is. Okay, wrong thing. So 0, 100 is correct. So data made for save data for Yes. Hold on. This never this never run at any point. Hold on. Why has this not run at any point? Okay. I don't know. I don't know. Oh yeah, because probably it wasn't. I have to put like a wait. Like I just said, like wait two, for example. And let's see. Okay, data accessed from yes, 100. That's the money data. Yes, correct. Save data for. Okay, let me actually try something here. Let's just put like a wrong thing and see what it does. Data is not found. There we go. That's good. Money. So sorry for the confusion. Okay, let me explain this code. So let's simplify this. So what this code does is we have a model script, okay? And what we do is inside the model script we have the model, the data model. Inside the data model we have a global table called data objects, which we're gonna be placing every new object that we make inside of. Here we create the new object from the class data, which is going to be this. Okay. I'm actually gonna see something. I wanna see if I did a mistake. Oh shit. You know what? Who cares? I don't care. No. You know what? Like, yeah. I mean, you know, it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. There's no issue, mate. Okay. Just let it be global. Okay. I don't care. This is global. If we're gonna be accessing from here, yeah, it is kind of inside of the self, but we're not gonna be really accessing it at any point, so it's fine. So, anyway, so we're making new data. Unfortunately, this has to be inside, and then we create a user ID. We here we use ternary to simplify it, and basically what we say is, okay, so of the data from the player, so the data that the player will have, is either going if he doesn't have the data saved inside of his thingy, meaning he doesn't have a data, he has never played the game before, he's just gonna start with this. Or if he actually has joined the game before and has data, we're just gonna get his data. That's what we do here. Then we put the thing inside the object table right here, which is the object we put inside of this. And we made data for this user ID. Then when we save data, we have is leaving here, just in case, for example, if a player is leaving, we remove his thing from this table. And we print save data for user ID, and then we print the data, for example, okay. And here what we do is we just get the data store and then just save it with the key, which is the player user ID and his data. And function get, what it does, it acquires one data with one data name, which is going to be, for example, money. If the data's money exists and it's not nil, it's going to return the data that you requested from said player. Else, it's gonna warn you that it doesn't exist and it's just gonna return nothing. Now, what data handling does is when a new player joins the game, it creates a new data class for them, which checks for their data. If they have data, it saves it on them. Like it gives them the stuff, and if when they're leaving, we do data objects player user ID save, and because he's leaving, we do this too, so we can remove the object from the table. Now, can we have a little print? Let me actually just remove this entirely. We don't need this script anymore. And just to showcase this, okay? So let me see something. You don't want to have like insane amount of prints, but okay, that's fine. So you enter the game, data made for, that's my user ID. And then when we go ahead and leave the game, okay, so as you can see, it doesn't say anything, but the reason it doesn't say anything is because for some reason when you leave the game in Roblox, it sometimes works, sometimes doesn't. Maybe I have to make like a test server. I'm gonna try making a test server. Maybe it's gonna work better that way. So let's test it. So this is gonna be our server. Let's just keep it here so we can watch the output. Okay, don't want you full screen. Just sit there. And okay, also what can? Well, I'm actually not. Okay, let me show my screen for a second. Okay. So as you can see, data made for -1. I don't know why. That's just, I don't know. And then when this player, let me just add one more player in the thing. Okay, what can I? Oh my god. Let's add one more player. Oh my god. Not two, not two. Delete one. Um. Okay. Delete this. We don't want this. Okay. So as you can see, oh, there we go. Now that he left, save data for -3 ID, and this is the data that we saved for him. Okay, now I wonder if we're gonna add another the player ID 3 again, it should technically load his data because he was a player before. Oh, he's just player 4, never mind. But as you can see, if the player 4 leaves, or the player 1, for example, like if we leave, why is the player 1 still in the game? What? What? Um. Oh yeah, there we go. Now he left. Okay, as you can see, it just refuses to kick the player out of the game. I don't know why. As you can see, that saves that. Uh, okay, so it's kind of slightly bug, but just ignore that. Anyways, just I don't know why it didn't, but anyways, as you can see, that's working perfectly fine, and saves the data correctly and everything. Removes them from the object table, and everything works perfectly. So this way, whenever you want to add stuff to the player's data, it's going to be saving when he leaves. You can save it manually if you want to by running the code that I showed you. This is just a very nice code because you can from whatever code you are, you can just do data, get your player that you want to save data from or acquire data from, and you can just do that. It's a very flexible code that scales. It's a very good code. The only error flaw I would say it has is the fact that data objects is inside of the data object that we create from the class data, because obviously it's inside. But I don't like this being inside of the object, but it's okay. If it really bothers me, I can just literally do something like I can just do something like self table to remove self self dot data objects. Now, I do have one question whether what this is going to do. I think. Oh my god. Okay, I don't want to do that. No, clean up, no, no, cancel, 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 cancel. There we go. Okay, okay. So table to remove has that flow. Table dot. Okay, I think to remove something you have to do. For example, like uh, table dot find self self dot data object, because what it does, it returns. Okay, I'm trying to read what this does, and okay, it returns the index of the first occurrence of the. So it basically is gonna return the I of where this is located in this table, which is that, and that should work. And also this means that this is also wrong. So let's do table dot find data dot data objects. The V should be the key, which is going to be self dot user ID. Pretty sure. Let's see what this does. Okay, as you can see, that prints that. Now let me try to do this and see what self prints. Let's see if we actually made a breakthrough. Okay. Okay, so it's printing self, so everything under it. It's not printing the direct self to data objects because we don't assign it here. So let me instead try to do print self dot data objects and see what this does. Okay, so I'm heavily confused here. This should not be a thing. Fucking. Okay, never mind. Okay, I'm gonna end the video here because this should absolutely be working. From what this says it should be doing, I don't know what the fuck is deleting from the table. I don't really care. Just make do, make do. Make do. Uh, I can't figure that out. Okay, you have to search it. I have to search it too. I can't figure that out. Just make do with whatever you have here. Everything is correct as is. The code is gonna run perfectly. data was made, and then we leave the game. Okay, now it might not print it because okay, there we go. Left the game, save data for yeah, there we go. So it works perfectly fine. If you want, you can copy this code and use it for your own sake. It works perfectly fine. Just remember, from whatever code you're updating the values from, you should always be using this module to be accessing data objects and then placing your player ID here to change data. You only need to make these once when the player joins, and then remove it from the object table when the player leaves. I don't know how the fuck you can remove values from a table, but yeah, you figure it out. I don't know how to do that. For example, it's just not working. I don't know. Just figure it out. Thank you for watching. This was a video, so yeah, thank you.